Anybody that has the Elta Music Solar 42 or 42F, and you were thinking of buying a case, and you might have thought, 100 is a lot of money for a case. I thought that, and I was going to use a pedal board case for my Solar 42. I thought all I need to do is maybe just add some more foam to it because it's going to only cost me about £10. I know that these cases, whether they're £10 or £100, they cost peanuts to make. So I thought, right, let me just find out how big the Solar 42 is, and I can try and find a case that's very similar in size. As I said, I can add foam to it where I need to, the top and the bottom, or if the case has already got foam, I can add another layer of foam, making sure it could fit snug, because I realized that the Solar 42 case that you do get has got a compartment in it for the power adapter and for your cartridges and maybe your cables. So the case that you're going to buy, the Solar 42 case, is actually bigger than the Solar 42. I thought, get a case that would fit just the Solar 42 nice and snug. That's what I thought. Then I realized that Solar 42 is heavy. That is a solid piece of equipment. That made me think again. The only reason I did a case is I'm taking this thing so many places. This machine is like no other synth, whatever you want to call it, dream machine, ambient drone machine I've ever had. In fact, when I first heard it, I said to myself, where's the box for the Lyra 8? That's going. Both machines aren't comparable, but this machine is like a new religion. It's man-made. I'm telling you, you get lost in this machine. The first time I used this machine, I was on it for over 5 hours. So addictive. Creativity is endless. So once you feel the Solar 42's weight, not necessarily the bulk, but it is so solid, then you think that case for £10 is not going to do it, no matter how much foam I add to it. Those cases as well, if you look at the handles are on the top. So you're pulling the whole weight of that bag just from the material or webbing at the top, at the handle edge. That's not a good idea. Those cases never came with a shoulder strap, so I would have had to put a shoulder strap on it. When you actually get the Solar 42 case and you look how well it's made, then you think, I'm protecting something that cost nearly £2,000. I need to protect it properly. There might even be a case better than the Solar 42 case, but that case, the way it's built, it has foam lined all the way around it. Those cheap cases, those pedalboard cases, them cheap ones, they don't have that. There's padding in the bottom and it's all zipped in. There's padding in the top and it's all zipped in. Padding around the side is all zipped in. So if that became soft after a while, you could also reinsert more padding. And I notice if you look where the switch is to switch it on and off, that's a toggle switch. I know you might think it's the wrong kind of switch to be in the wrong kind of place, but the whole thing is kind of retro looking and there's toggle switches everywhere. So having a plastic switch just might not give it that finishing touch. It wouldn't be so polished and finished as it is as a retro looking machine. So I suppose they had to continue the toggle switches everywhere. That's not a problem if you keep the toggle switch at the top, because it's very tight in the case. This case is so snug. It's the exact fit for this machine. And with the switch up, you do not actually force it. So there's no worry that you're going to bend it or harm it in any way. And if you're really worried about it, you could unzip the foam at that point, and you could actually cut the foam at that point if you wanted to inside the case when you unzip it. And there'd be a lot more room to accommodate the switch. Other than that, this case also has the straps, and the straps, they come from the side, so you're actually holding the whole of the case, not just the top part of the case, carrying all of that. Is it 5 kilos? I can't remember now. I know it's this kind of plasticky kind of material, but I think it's going to be tough enough. I don't think at this weight you need metal. Metal would be good, but it just might not be necessary. It has good heavy zips. Some of those pedalboard cases, that I saw that cost £10. The zips were nothing special, just normal thin zips. Sometimes, you know, a zip jumps after a while. These zips on the Solar 42 case are definitely worth having. The case also has the nice piping around the edge. It just looks nice, cosmetic value. And it's got Solar 42 written on it. You can just carry it the other way around if you don't want everyone to know what you've got. But it's just part of it, just a finishing touch. Finally, I have to mention why this case is so good. The whole case is covered in protective plastic. All around the edges, at the top and the bottom. It's all covered in, I think it's 2mm plastic, a rigid plastic. If anything were to come in contact with your Solar 42 case, light to moderate impacts wouldn't be so severe as to damage your synth. With that extra added level of protection in place. The pedal board cases I have seen for £10 definitely do not have that. The other alternative just might be a flight case, which would be quite heavy with all that wood and metal. But if you're on the road or the environment that you're traveling in requires that, then go for that. And if you're looking for something a bit lighter, maybe one of these cases would do. This ABS case, extremely tough, yet so light in weight, lockable, just like the one I have my drone in. Some of these are available with pick foam for you to remove to fit your Solar 42 in perfectly. If you don't carry your Solar 42 around and you have it in your studio or somewhere and it's sitting on stands, then you do not need a case. But if you are considering a case because you need to move your Solar 42 around from place to place, I highly recommend you buy the Solar 42 case. It's definitely worth purchasing for something of that value. So cry once,